Patricia, what drew you to the role of Peggy in the first place?
I love the writing. She was just such a mess, but she also had this heart of gold. She reminded me of my sister Alexis a little bit, collecting these kind of broken birds, had a good heart, but also would sometimes make these radical choices that you'd want to pull your hair out, like, why? And I loved her relationships. I loved how she loved Denny. I loved how she loved her siblings. And she was such a mess. She was constantly creating chaos in her life to not look at her own pain. And I liked how she loved quality and she had a cultured eye in a way. And I love that she made stupid mistakes all the time.
So you kind of wanted to nurture her, to help her.
I love Peggy. I mean, and I've known Peggy-ish people my whole life that I've loved. And I like these desert people that don't quite fit in necessarily in the normal world, and they have a pioneer spirit and they go to these places, but they can't quite live by the rules.
Now, Matt, how fun was for you to be playing Danny, and did you see some parts of yourself in him?
Well, you gotta love the character if you're playing him, and I really love Denny. I don't know how much of myself I saw in Denny, but I love the character. These characters are so well developed, and Denny's a really loyal guy. When he gets out of jail, he wants his woman back. That's what he wants, and he loves her. And he has changed, and he's really excited about that. But he's still, in his heart, he's a bit of a liar and a thief. But he doesn't see it that way. He's doing this is for us. He really believes it. It's not always true, but it's good. He's a kind of loyal guy, and this is a story about Peggy and her dysfunctional family. He's part of that dysfunctional family. It's kind of a film about this kind of messed up family, but there's a lot of love and a lot of heart in Denny and in the story and in Peggy,
And in a weird way, like they're the lion and the lioness. Like they're both used to being the top dog that makes the decisions. And so they kind of deceive each other sometimes when they think necessary, and that adds to the
It has the
problem.
tension of the tension that exists in relationships between couples, but they love each other, And I think in that level, it's very universal. In that way, I could really identify with Denny, that it was real,
And they have a lot of self-sabotage, both of them. So
Of course.
the mess.
Of course. Now, Patricia, one of the things I like the most about this show is the way it highlights the fact that the pathways to recovery, whether it be from grief or addiction, are never going to be in a straight line. Now, did you feel like you could relate to this aspect of the story specifically?
Yeah, I think getting sober and staying sober and living life on life's terms is a very difficult task. And I think we're all guilty of self-deception. And I think that's a part of addiction that's very ingrained. I also think, her growing up and having to assume a parental position as a child. She still makes parenting decisions from a child's point of view, in a way, a teenage point of view. But I think you do see in the writing and these characters, the love that the writers have. It was loosely inspired by one of our writers, Nancy's sister, who is a lifelong addict and eventually died of her addiction. And all her beautiful traits she had also, and the complicated kind of people that we love who struggle with addiction.
Yeah, I very much got that sense in talking to the writer that these were people that she really knew, And Danny was like, oh yeah, he was, and it was really great to have that source,